This is video for Introduction to C++ courses Module 5, and in this video I will tell you about how I split functionality into functions in my code, and how do I return a value from function and use it in code, and how I pass and declare pointer parameters in code, and how I call functions in code. But first I must apologize or something about my screen. My graphics card burned up and it is pretty messy looking at the moment, but I think I can manage with this screen. So I will show you the code. This video is I must move it a little bit like this. So I have done these functions. This is based in the tasks in this module's assignment. I have init game function, which asks how many players will participate, asks their names and difficult level of the game. And doGuess function asks the player for guess a number, and the boolean type has active players checks if there is any active players to go to next game round. If there is, it will return true. If there is none, it will return false. And there's the print player stats, which just prints out the player statics, and the destroy game function, which destroys this dynamically allocated memory. And all are void types except this has active players. And in the main function is there's the declaration of the game struct, pointer, and here's the main game loop, which loops as long as this game struct's running variable, which is boolean type. Its value is true. And inside this while loop is the for loop, which is initialized by passing the game struct's player array to this player pointer. It loops as long as this integer I is smaller than there's a players in game, and this I is raised, and also the players pointer is moved to next memory address. And the loop itself just runs this doGuess function, and after that the game running variable gets the value from the has active players function, and it, like I said, declares if this while loop goes to next round. I will tell you about these functions later. And after that the destroy game function is called, and just this Y message. So here's the init game function. It gets the pointer to pointer as parameter, and which was unclear first to me. This defines do I use this arrow kind operator or the dot operator? If this would be we are passing the memory address, then I should use the dot operator, but with the pointer operator I need to use, of course, this arrow operator. I don't know the official names for those operators, but I call them arrow operator and dot operator. And the functionality haven't changed, just the this how they must be used. Like, while I think because this is pointer to pointer type, this game pointer, I need to use this star operator inside parentheses, otherwise the compiler gives errors. And yeah, there's the number of players asked, the names are asked, and the difficulty level. And next is toGuess function. It gets the memory address of game struct and game pointer and player pointer. And it just asks those numbers and counts those hits and misses for every player. And after that it asks, does the player wanna continue to next round? And this player quitted is checked in the next function has active players, which goes inside for loop. This player arrays quitted, like I mentioned here. This is used to player pointer, but the pointer points to this game structs player array to this. So this is the same thing as this. And so this for loop checks if the quitted value is false, and that means that player wanna continue to next round, then it returns true. So if even one player wanna continue to next round, it returns true, and the function it's running is stopped or it's completed. Or if every value is true, so every player wanna quit, then it returns the false. And there was the question how to use those functions and to give values to variables. I can show it now, because like I showed in the main game loop, the game running, which is the main condition to run this game loop, it gets its value from that has active players function. So if all players wanna stop the game, don't wanna go to next round, this running variable gets false. Otherwise, either one player wanna continue, it gets true and it goes to next round. And there was the one function left, which was this, two function was left. It was the print player stats. It just prints out the game struct player arrows, name, hits and misses. inside loop, so all player stats are displayed, and there's the destroy game function also, which destroys this player's array and the game pointer. So there was all the functions, and what else there were. How split code, how do you return value from function, use it in code, like I said in that has active players. How do you pass and declare pointer parameters in code? There were the what was little confusing for me at first, like if you are declared pointer parameter, you must pass its pointer's memory address when the function is called, and if the declaration uses memory address, then when you are passing the pointer, you must pass the pointer itself, not the memory address. So this defines, is it pointer or memory address? It defines how you are calling it, with the memory address or the pointers itself, when we are talking about pointers. And how I call functions? Well, there's nothing special about that. Like I said, this is the only special thing to know, that what you pass in the parameter. And yeah, I think that's all for this video. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.